Hi, I'm Sam Wiebe, and today we're going to talk about how to make more time for writing. I'm going to give you the best tip that I have for finding and making time to write. This is brought to you by mysterywritingmastery.thinkific.com, which is an online mystery writing school. It can be really tough to commit to writing every day, and I know many professional writers who still struggle with this. So I'm going to give you the best advice that I have. In a lot of ways, our society is not set up to give you pockets of time to be alone, to work on something that might or might not pay in the end. There are things like video games which will suck up as much time as you let them. There are also things which legitimately take precedence over writing, like raising a kid, I guess, if you like kids. I'm not going to tell you what to prioritize. But here's a mindset that I've found works for me and that will help you block off the time and justify that time for yourself so that you will meet your writing goals. This is something that I adapted from a book on money management by George S. Clausen called The Richest Man in Babylon. It's a very famous book. It's probably on my shelf somewhere. What he says about finance, I think, equally applies to time. And here's the piece of advice. Ready? Pay yourself. What Clausen says is that if you make $1,000 a month and you find that money is gone at the end of the month, you've paid bills, you've paid your debts, but you haven't paid yourself. You haven't set aside money for your future, whether that means saving up for a home or saving up to go on a trip, whatever. You haven't treated yourself as an equally valid payee. So I believe the same advice applies to time. If you have 18 hours a day, how much of that time are you setting aside for yourself, for your goals, or for your future? Whether it's 3 hours a day, 1 hour, half an hour, 20 minutes, 5 minutes even, that time should be yours. It's for meeting your goals. And if writing is a goal, then that time is for meeting your writing goals. You don't have to write. You don't have to be productive in that time. You don't have to do anything. But this is time that you have given yourself to write. And I think that that's the mindset to start developing. So for me right now, I like to write first thing. I have my coffee, I come into my office, and I start writing. That will be between 2 and 4 hours. Sometimes I'll do a first draft or do revisions or work on aspects of the writing business, record videos. But this is my time that's set up. And that's pretty ideal. It's good for my schedule. My partner's out of the house for that time. And I can do that before I have to teach and do other jobs. When I was a student, though, I had a very different schedule. And I would fit in writing at the end of the day. So I'd spend my time, on the bus, going to class, studying, and then before bed, I would give myself an hour, half an hour to write. And sometimes I used to fall asleep writing and actually ruined an entire set of bed sheets with black ink because I'd fall asleep with the pen in my hand. Not ideal, but again, it's an example of how to make that time. Before bed, that was my time to work. As I said, if you have kids or something that takes precedence, obviously you're going to have to modify this advice. But even with a really busy schedule and lots of demands, think about yourself and make sure to pay yourself some amount of your time. So give this a try. Block off a half an hour to write today. If you get work done, great. If not, just enjoy it. That time is yours. And start to practice budgeting a certain amount of time to meet your goals. It can be small, but the best thing is to make it regular and everyday. Good luck. This is brought to you by mysterywritingmastery.thinkific.com. If you go over to our page, you can sign up for Beginning Your Mystery, which is a free online course about finding and developing ideas for mystery novels.